Happy video day, guys. So for today's video, we've got an exciting one because I picked up a product that I know a lot of people are super excited about. It's different, it's cool, and it's from a brand that I really like, and that is the Huda Beauty Neon Obsessions little mini eyeshadow palettes. So she is releasing 3 different styles, so I decided to just pick the one that spoke the best to me, the one that I really honestly wanted, and that is this one right here, and that's the orange one. So this is the neon orange, and this is the one we're going to be going over today. I am going to be sharing with you guys my first impressions thoughts, as well as answering some of you guys' questions. You guys asked me some things that you want me to go over about this product for you guys. Yeah, so we're gonna get into a lot of stuff. Of course, I did create the eye look that I'm wearing right now. I'll show you guys kind of like how I created it as well. And let's go ahead and let's get right into it. So before we get into the video, if you guys are new here, I'm Christina Brooke and this is the GLAMRANCH. If you guys like makeup and makeup reviews and seeing what's new in the market, I would love it if you'd hit that subscribe button, because then YouTube will show you my videos and you can find me again. So let's go ahead and get into this mini palette. There's a lot of stuff to say about it. This may be a little mini palette, but it does have a real big punch. So the first thing that we're going to talk about is the outer packaging and how it looks from the exterior. And I want to tell you guys that this is an improvement for Huda Beauty in their mini Obsessions palettes. They're usually in this like cardboard packaging, and even though it is nice and it looks fine, you know, it's always been in this cardboard packaging. This one is actually in a plastic packaging. This is a heavy duty plastic package, compact. So for the most part, it's actually pretty nice. I do like it. I mean, I didn't mind the cardboard, but of course, a packaging like this is gonna last longer. It's also gonna help prevent the shadows from shattering if they fall on the ground. So I do actually appreciate this packaging. So of course, like always, new and improved packaging does come with a higher price tag. So these do retail for $29 US compared to the original Obsessions eyeshadow palettes that retail for $27. In my opinion, the price difference is not that big of a leap for getting such a nice exterior packaging. And of course, you do get the mirror. So I really honestly think the packaging is really nice. I like the sleek design to it, and I love the fact that it just says neon. So just so you guys know, I may go between saying Huda Beauty and Huda Beauty. I do know that it's pronounced Huda Beauty, but I tend to say Huda Beauty. I don't know why. I think it's because most people say Huda Beauty. So if you guys hear me say Huda, it's Huda. But if you hear me say Huda, Huda. So I really honestly love the packaging, and I really like it. I think it's really sleek, and I think it was a really nice upgrade to their little mini Obsessions. It would be cool if when they come out with more different styles, they would come out with this plastic container, because I do think it's a pretty nice upgrade. So then when we get to the inside of this palette, guys, sometimes in photographs you see items and you're like, well, can this be that pretty in person? And guys, this one actually looks even prettier in person. When I opened this up for the very first time, I was like, it is so pretty in person. Like, I don't even think on screen you're gonna be able to see how beautiful these colors are, as you're gonna be able to appreciate it if you see it in store, if you're actually receiving it to your doorstep today. This is the most beautiful little palette I have seen in a long time. It's just really pretty, very neon colors, in your face kind of palette, and I think it's very pretty. So the colors inside are really nice. So inside of this palette, you do get 6 buttery matte shades in eye-popping yellows, oranges, and pinks, and then there's gonna be 3 creamy metallic shades of the same color. So this is primarily orange, pink, yellow shade palette, and they are telling you you're going to be getting metallics in those same shades and mattes in those same shades. Of course, guys, I decided to jump into this palette today to kind of give it a test run. Like I said, when I saw it in person, I was like, whoa, this is so pretty, and I was super excited to try it out. One thing I do want to mention to you guys before we do get into me trying it on my face, I want to warn you guys that this is a pressed pigment palette. This is not an eyeshadow palette. I didn't actually hear it too much, but I assumed it was when I saw that it was a neon palette, and that means there are some colors in here that are pressed pigments. Of the 9 shades, it looks like 7 of them are pressed pigments and only 2 of them are regular eyeshadows. These are the colors that I believe are the pressed pigments. There is this shimmery orange right here, fiery kind of orange right here, light matte, which is this one right here. There's also the pink matte, which is this one right here. This one I could tell is a pressed pigment right away when I saw it. I was like, oh yeah, you're gonna stain my eyeballs. So then there's the yellow one right here. Also the pink shimmer right here, the yellow shimmer right here. This is primarily a pigment palette. I think it's only these these two down here that are actual eyeshadows. Everything else has ingredients that would cause them to become a pigment. So there is two other palettes in the line, Green Obsessions, and kind of looking at it, it looks like to me from the ingredient list, it looks like maybe 8 of these shades are pigments as well. And then on the last one, the Neon Pink Obsessions, looks like there's like 5 or so that are pigments in this palette. So I just wanted to let you guys know that. So now that we've moved past that, now we're gonna get into what I'm thinking about this palette after applying it to my eyes. So I'm gonna show you guys what I did to create this look, and I'm gonna give you guys a few little thoughts that I have as I was doing it. So the first color that I used was this color here in the center. Now I do know this one's a pigment. I did read that before applying it, and I will tell you it does perform more like a pigment. I was expecting, even though I knew it was a pigment, for it to kind of blend a little bit better. I will tell you, as I was applying it to the eyes, I felt like it was a little bit not 100% full color as I was applying it, and I kind of realized that, okay, this is because it's a pigment. It has color to it, so it's not like it doesn't have a punch to it. It does have color. I just feel like it was a little bit harder to blend on the lid, and then I figured, okay, this isn't gonna work the way I want it to. So I said, let's move on to using some of these other colors that I wanted to use as well. So what I did was I grabbed this hot pink color. Now, getting into this color the whole time, I was going, oh my God, you're gonna stain my eyes. Like the whole time, that's all I was thinking. So anyways, I put that one on the outer edge of my eye, and I kind of just tried to focus it mainly only on the outer edge. I feel like this color is extremely pigmented. It worked really, really good. And especially if you use it kind of isolated to certain areas and kind of pat into place and blend in a certain area, it works really, really well. Like I said before, some of these pigments, I don't believe that they work really good if you try to do like a real big blend movement, like the entire lid, or kind of using like a base color. It's just not, it doesn't work that way. I was pretty happy with that one. So then I wanted to move on to like an orangey color, but not one that was super similar. So I jumped into this color right here. And this is the color that I put right next to the pink, kind of blend it out. Now I will tell you, I did notice this one blended a little bit better. That's probably because it's one of the ones that is an actual eyeshadow. At least from what I'm seeing on the ingredients list, this one doesn't have like ingredients listed. So I'm figuring that that means it's an eyeshadow. I could be wrong, but it does blend better than the other one, so I don't know. This one blended a lot better. I felt like it kind of went really good into place. It blended the pink into the orange, and it kind of did a really pretty transition, as you guys can see. So I really, really honestly enjoyed this one a lot. So then I wanted to get something a little bit into the yellows. I was like, okay, well, we're gonna just kind of do like a kind of like rainbow gradient effect going on here. So I jumped into this yellow. I was honestly dying to use this yellow. It just looks so rich in color that I really wanted to try it on my eyes. This one does not disappoint, guys. This is an extremely shocking yellow, and it looks incredible on the lids. I don't know if yellows would stain, guys. I'm gonna have to tell you guys in the description box, so definitely read my pinned comment after I post this video, because I'm gonna tell you guys if these colors stain my lids. That's gonna be like a huge like, hey, did it stain or not? I'm dying to know. When I wipe this off, I'm gonna be like, did you stain? Like, I'm dying to know. But this color right here actually worked pretty beautiful. I love the way it looks. I mean, if you guys want like a real big yellow punch, this one was incredibly beautiful. So then I wanted to add something to the inner corner, give it a little pizzazz, and of course I want to use a shimmer. I mean, Huda Beauty's like metallic formula is like one of my favorites. So I did grab this one with a brush, and I didn't think it did too much with the brush, so I kind of sprayed it, and even spraying it kind of looked a little crumbly. The same with almost every Huda Beauty formula shimmer. I feel like with your finger is where you really, really get the most bang for your buck when it comes to these metallics. Now, I will tell you that this one here, it has like more like a glistening glimmeriness to it than I'm used to seeing in her other palette. So this one I thought worked a lot better with my finger, but it is a little hard to get into the inner corner with your finger. So that was a little bit of a pain for me. But once I did get it in there, it looked really, really pretty, and I was able to blend it a little bit. I grabbed some of the yellow to blend into it, and I think it looked really pretty. Now for the lower lash line, I didn't want to really use any of the pinks or anything on my lower lash line just because I wanted to avoid some staining down there. So what I did was just grab this shimmery color and kind of just like put it on the lower lash line to kind of just give a little bit of glimmeriness down there and a little bit of color, but nothing exaggerated. Put on some liner and mascara, and I honestly love this look. I think that the palette all together worked really, really nice. I think that there is some shades in here that don't work as beautifully as others, and I feel like that does go down to the fact that it's a pigment palette and not an eyeshadow palette. I feel like the combination of colors here blend really good together, so at the end you do come out with a really pretty look. I will tell you guys, for me, I do think the palette performed nice. I mean, especially this one. I don't know how the other two would perform, but for the most part it performed nice. So you guys did ask me a few questions on my community tab, so I'm gonna go ahead and answer some of those. So Nintendo Girl is asking me, are they as good as the Obsessions palette? That's a good question. I personally think the quality of the Obsessions palettes are better, in my opinion. Now, I'll tell you why. I feel like these being eyeshadows and not pigments, they just work a lot easier on the lids. When I think of that palette, I don't think of it the same way as I think of the Obsessions. I feel like this one is kind of like, you know, you're kind of like trying to focus it on certain areas. You have to work a little bit different. I personally, just because of my preference, guys, I prefer eyeshadows. I've always preferred eyeshadows. I think, in my opinion, that the regular Obsessions palettes are better for sure. Even the metallics in these palettes are different formulas. This one here is a little bit more crumbly and a little bit more glittery than I feel like these are. These are a little bit more silky feeling and a little bit more metallic feeling. So they're different. They're different. And to be honest, in my opinion, I like the formula of these metallics more than I like these. Then Memento Mori is asking, this palette intimidates me a bit. I would be afraid to use it in fear that I would just look like I have a couple of Cheetos on my lids. Is it as scary as I have hyped it out in my mind? Well, I mean, you're gonna get bright lids, you know, like, no matter really what you do too much with these palettes, you're gonna get pretty bright lids. Like, even if you used one of these regular kind of shades all over your lid, they're still very bright undertoned. None of these have like a dark undertone. So if you guys can like look at this palette, you don't see anything that has more of a darky color, like kind of like, you know, these. Even like the bright one in this one, that's this blue here, it even has more of a darker undertone to it that you can kind of work with it more. So in reality, you are going to get very bright eyes. Like, I mean, there's really no way around it. If anything, maybe the green one would be the only one that you can come up with maybe some more dyed down looks. The pink one, I feel like you're still going to get very pink lids, and it's not even going to be like pink dark purple. It's going to be like pink to magenta purple. You know what I mean? So I think the pink one and also the orange one are probably the ones that you're going to get the most neon effect on your eyes, like very bright colors. And maybe the green one will be the one that's the most dyed down, but I think no matter which way you put it, I think these are going to give you pretty bright eyes. So if you guys aren't into that, don't get this palette. Okay, so I'm also being asked, are they really neon? So for the most part, most of the ones that I tried on, I feel like they are pretty neon, yes. There is some colors in here that I don't think are as neon. Like even the yellowy color, the yellow is more mustardy yellowy than it is like neon yellow. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's kind of a combination, but I will tell you, in my opinion, I kind of feel like that's good, because if this was like all neon, 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 it would be kind of hard to even create a look with, because all neon colors need a little bit of a dyed down color on top of it. Like all neon together would be very hard to use. Are the shimmers dual-chromed? They look like they might have a really pretty shift to them. So that's Roxy Starlight. And you know what, guys? I personally don't think that they're like dual-chrome, because I don't think that they really shift. There's glitter in here, but the glitter in here is kind of like a silver glitter, and I feel like they're all with that silvery kind of glitter. I could be wrong about that, but if you guys really look at them, I feel like they shift a little bit. But it's not like when you put them on, it shifts to a completely different color. It's almost just like it has like a reflective, like silvery glitter undertone to them, but they don't like change colors. So now I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys some swatches of this palette so you guys can kind of like determine for yourself if this is like a color scheme that you're interested in. So I will tell you guys, like even swatching them, they swatch so much different than a regular Huda Beauty eyeshadow palette, and that's because these are pigments. So overall, guys, I think that some of the eyeshadows or pigments in this palette work a little bit better than others. I do feel like the least impressive one that I tried today was this one in the middle. I didn't feel like it did that much for me, and I did have to like kind of like skip over it and keep on going. So the other ones that I kind of worked with worked fine. Now I do believe that this might be one of those palettes that some people may be a little bit disappointed with if they are so used to the Obsessions palettes, because like I said, the formula is very different. To me, these are not the same at all, but I feel like if people are going in thinking that this is going to be exactly the same as these, they might be a little let down because these perform a lot easier on the eyes. These are a little harder to work with. So I will tell you guys, me personally, I don't mind it. I think it worked pretty nice on my eyes. Like I said, there might be a few colors in the palette that I might not want to reach for that often, but besides that, I think that it worked pretty decent. So I will be, of course, giving this some more test runs before I give you guys my real final thoughts. In my opinion, they're okay. They work good. They give you vibrant eyes. It definitely gets the job done, and they look very pretty. Are they as good as these? No. So I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. Don't forget, give it a thumbs up so that YouTube will recommend this video to some other people. And of course, if you guys like me and you like the channel, hit the subscribe button so you find me again, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.